back in the bunker, and the Premier League returns.
Evening, Tate.
Good afternoon,
Jack.
Good
afternoon, sorry. Got you too used to it. Yeah, a bit earlier tonight, actually, or today.
It's a first time in a little while, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just having a chat. It's been a couple of weeks. We obviously, missed a week because of we're away, international break and whatever, so it sort of worked, and then,
I've been on holiday, you've been on holiday, came back, just got back from a stag do yesterday, and obviously you just said the international break.
Yeah.
Premier League back over the weekend, been a pretty dramatic weekend as usual. So
I think even the week we missed was quite good.
Yes.
Well, no, we didn't miss, we did a different episode, but that weekend was quite a good weekend of football. But yes, normal Premier League has returned, and so we are back in the bunker.
How boring is that international week?
It's
2 week.
Like, it sounds like typical, like, doesn't like football, but yeah, I get back into it when it's the Euros and the World Cup, but really the international break, the qualifiers, whatever they are, whatever goes on, it's just utter rubbish. It's just boring,
dull,
isn't it? It's just so boring.
The whole week's boring is what I find.
There's no other news. Obviously, all the players are at their country, and there's whoever's left behind. Just nothing happens. It's very, very dull.
And the football that does go on is even more dull.
Yeah,
I think
it's really poor.
Than the whole of it.
Before we go on, if there's a bit windy outside, so if the shutters rattling about behind the window and you can hear it, we apologise. But yeah, we'll crack on. But yeah, it's very dull, wasn't it? Very dull week of football.
But I'm glad the Premier League is back, and like you said, it was an exciting week. But let's start with the teaser before we go into what the show will be. So this one, I've actually copied this from another podcast I listened to this morning. Normally I make them all up myself, but this one I thought was very, very good. So I thought I'm going to copy this one. What is currently the most common surname in the Premier League? Players only, yeah.
God, yeah, okay. That's so random.
So that's a good one, and we'll go back to that later on. But this show, we're going to start with Manchester United versus Brighton, moving on to Spurs versus Sheffield United. Obviously, you were there, Jack, so we can touch on that. Moving on to probably a little bit of North London preview. Is that coming up on Sunday? Maybe touch on some games that have been and gone since we've last done the podcast. We're going to make our predictions for the Champions League winners, Europa League winners, and Conference League winners. Touch on some posts that we've posted on the Instagram in the last couple of weeks. Moving back on to Team of the Week, prediction, and winner and loser to wrap it all up.
Yep.
But should we start the Theatre of Dreams?
Yes,
Old Trafford.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
Brighton.
I'm sure you are.
United versus Brighton. Going into it straight away, I fancied Brighton.
Yeah, I thought they'd win. To be honest, we'll go into the game, but I didn't think United would be that bad. But yeah, Brighton are just at the minute a very good side,
very good team,
and they just showed again they are good, and they are a decent team, and yeah, they deserve everything they're getting at the minute. And I think they're fifth in the table, maybe, but I think they've won. I want to say have they won 4? If I just made that up,
they've lost.
Yeah, four wins out of 5 for Brighton. They're just good side, but yeah, United. It wasn't a shock, and even Gary Neville said, didn't he wasn't surprised at what happened, but yeah, it's just again, for me anyway, especially even more so as a Tottenham fan, you look at Man United and you think that's Manchester United, bloody hell, like they win everything, they win trophies, they just win every football game, like, and what's going on at the minute is quite shocking, really.
Well, going into the game, United were 12 months unbeaten at Old Trafford. Brighton being the last team to beat them first game of the season last year. So, although they've had all these troubles on and off the pitch recently, and this season so far hasn't started particularly well.
No.
At home, they've played 1-2, albeit Wolves very lucky.
Yeah.
And Nottingham Forest, well, they were 2-0 down and then won it.
Yeah.
Won it in the end. But I just fancied Brighton from the get-go, really. They were. Look at that United back four.
Nice.
Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez, and Reguilón. And you said it perfectly yesterday. What was the WhatsApp you sent me yesterday about Reguilón? You put Reguilón plays for Manchester United. Yeah. Manchester United.
It doesn't make any sense. Again, he played for us, and we're more than happy to get rid of him to anyone. And he's gone to Manchester United, like I keep saying, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Reguilón didn't even play for Spurs. Sorry, not good enough. And yeah, it's crazy to even think that he plays for them. And they, like we said, they got Johnny Evans on the books. They got their midfield is absolutely woeful.
I mean, considering their options left back last year,
Yeah.
well, your options, left back were Ben Davis and a 47-year-old Perisic that you didn't want to keep.
And we still
around.
didn't want Reguilon,
Yeah.
It's I can't believe it. It's just very odd and must be even more frustrating for Man United fans. But
Brighton made 6 changes, I think, from their last game, and they had a combined total. I think their whole starting lineup was under 20 million, wasn't it?
I've seen the price thing. Yeah,
a lot of free transfers going around, which was
and that would go into it. But yeah, like Brighton play with Welbeck, a 32-year-old Welbeck, and a 35-year-old Adam Lallana.
Yeah,
but they are perfect. They work so well in that side, and it just seems to be just a solid team. And yeah, you look at United's side. The United fans in particular would absolutely chomp your arm off for that sort of team. But yeah, Welbeck scored, didn't he? The first goal, 20th minute.
Yes, Welbeck's 5 goals in 14 games against United, and I think you'll like, especially, is he always celebrates.
Yeah, he
always
does.
celebrates.
Yeah.
He scored against Arsenal as well. He celebrates against Arsenal. He always celebrates his former teams. Any goal he scores.
Yeah, rightly so. He's
born and bred Manx.
Yeah, he's come through Manchester's academy and played for him, and yeah, it's probably fulfilled his boyhood dream. But yeah, he's almost adopted Brighton now and does well for them in big games and does well for them as a player. Doesn't score lots of goals, but yeah, like you said, he celebrates, and rightly so.
And then, so Man United actually started off quite well, didn't they? From all accounts, they had first 10-15 minutes, but then after that, Brighton grew into it and just dominated proceedings. I know Rashford came close a couple of times. And how did you pronounce his name? Haaland, the striker.
Oh, Højlund, yeah. Rasmus Højlund.
Rasmus Højlund, that's the one. He scored, but obviously VAR came back and disallowed it.
Rightly so, as well. Miles off.
I don't get this new... it's like... obviously, I know the officiating is just awful in this country, but this new... How am I going to describe this? Basically, that they're getting the lines wrong and things like that. They're guessing it's out of place. Surely they know it's out of place. It's quite clear it's out of place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or am I looking at that completely wrong?
Well, yeah, no,
it's
I don't
off,
know.
isn't it?
I don't know how there's an argument. Like, I don't know. I was very surprised that there was an argument. Like, it's off. It's the photo. It's the Mark Goldbridge thing with the FIFA, and like he's like, oh my god, it's not cross line, and obviously a frame later it crosses the line. That's what happens. And yeah, I thought it was like goal line technology. When it crosses, it buzzes or whatever. But yeah, it's just obvious. Obvious.
You can see there's like I know it's very, very tight.
Yeah, when they it's obvious when they stop it and look at, not from the naked eye, but yeah, from all the replays, and yeah, obviously rightly cool.
And that's what the technology is there to do.
Yeah.
I suppose it disallowed a goal that shouldn't have stood, because obviously it's impossible to see that from the linesman position. He's got 2 goalposts ahead of him, and it's 40 yards away from him. Yeah,
but even Welbeck's goal, it was a nice move down the right for Brighton, but like we were talking about Reguilon, just non-existent. Martinez gets pulled out.
Casemiro loses his man.
Yeah, Lindelof is then dragged across. The right backs all the way. It's just a mess. The back four just absolutely all over the place. They were so stretched, and then ends up with Welbeck who slots it home. But yeah,
and it was 1-0 at half time, and then the goal that's been doing the rounds around social media is Pascal Gross's
goal.
30 passes leading up to it. I do want to give them credit for the 30 passes, but just as impressive as that is how unimpressive United's pressing or
awful.
Any sort of sprinting to the ball or effort to defend that is just embarrassing.
Yeah, and you watch it on the highlights of match day and you just see the goal, but then you see the clip that comes out of the actual goal. Start from the goalie and they move it around left and right, up and down, and eventually Pascal Gross sells Martinez and slots it home brilliantly. But yeah, like you said, the pressing, the intensity of it, and just nowhere near it. And it honestly, that performance they put in at the weekend reminds me of Spurs last year of Conte, where it was like, oh, we counter-attack and we let them have the ball, but you can do that, and then there's no intensity with the move. When you have to go and get the ball, everyone's sluggish, everyone's sort of walking and jogging. No one's pressing, no one's getting in their faces. It was just too easy for Brighton, and yeah, it's just very strange to see from a Man United team.
Yeah, I wrote here that it was Lamptey, wasn't it? Played it across, and Gross sent the butcher for a hot dog.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, and even Lamptey's pass was a bit like, you could easily go and get that, and then no one was reacting, no one was there, but Gross was on the front foot and read it and went for it, and yeah, like you said, Martinez gets sent absolutely.
He scored a couple of goals this season, hasn't he? He was in the Germany squad
Was he?
Just gone, yeah. It's the first time he's ever been called up at age of like 32, I think.
Yeah, he's good for them, isn't he? I think he scored like 7 or 8 in the 11 games against Man United or something.
Yeah,
his record's really good.
I heard that stat,
really good. They're just, again, just very good, weren't they? And then Pedro.
Yeah, he came on for Welbeck, I think, and they made a double change, and it was another Lamptey assist when it played across. And what a finish that was!
Yeah, it's brilliant, wasn't it?
Open his body up and just like put it in the corner.
And Onana as well still could be a blame for that. Gets a hand to it. It's not right in the corner. Gets a strong hand to it, but obviously not good enough. Brighton are 3-0 up at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I mean, I know Hannibal clawed one back.
Yeah.
What name is that?
Yes, it's not a great name.
But this is what I would get if I was a Man United fan. Just be frustrated with was I think they were 3-0 down, and then they bring off Rasmus Højlund and they bring on Martial. What is Martial playing for Man United in 2023? Like that needs to stop.
No.
He's been there since 2017, I want to say. He's never really had a period where you thought, he's in his groove and he's going to become the main man. He's never had a moment, never had a period, I'd say, like Rashford had last season, where you actually thought it's clicking now.
And that Højlund needs games, brand new striker, expensive, number 9. Yeah, it's just I don't know what's happening. It's a bit of a mess. And on United, like we keep saying, they've got Reguilon, Eriksen still playing, Johnny Evans on the books, Maguire. I mean, I don't personally agree with all the treatment, and he's become a laughing stock, but he's still around. The midfield is what the system. Casemiro is obviously a very good player, but the system, whatever they're trying to do, McTominay, Eriksen, Fernandes, it's just awful. That just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and it won't work. I just can't believe what I'm seeing.
Off the field issues with Anthony in Brazil, not coming back for a while.
And all the mess, and the mess with Sancho. This
Sancho thing's weird for me. Like, no one's winning out of the situation. Ten Hag's, is he winning power from this, or is he looking stupid? But Sancho hasn't put in 5 good performances in the. How long's he been there? 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, but
this is his 3rd season now.
Yeah, it might be.
He's never put in. He's put a handful of good performances, and he hasn't proved himself anything. Was it 80 million, 100 million, however much they paid for him? 350 a week. It's just that sort of player always seems to happen at United. They have all these players on massive money, and they don't perform, and that must be really frustrating for them to see. And it always goes back to that classic. Every time they lose, the old Nevilles, the others, they all come out. Glazer's fault.
Yeah,
that game had nothing to do. Please correct me if you think I'm wrong, but
I'm
that 30-pass goal, with all the pressing,
nothing to do with Glazers.
Is it the Glazers not pressing? Is it the Glazers not doing this?
And that's what I was saying about Gary Neville. He came out and said, he spoke about the game. He said, "This is direct quote. What we saw wasn't a surprise. We were well beaten." And then he goes on to say, "Oh, and yes, the Glazers are to blame. They set the culture of greed, ill discipline, indecision, uncertainty." And he goes on and on about wants them to sell because he feels at least the off-field antics, and then that's parked and they can focus on what's happening on the pitch and all the rest of it. But which I understand, but like you're saying, on the face of it, at the weekend, 11 versus 11, Brighton were and are a better team and beat them comfortably like they deserve. So
I'll give 2 examples where I agree with. I disagree with obviously the Glazer comment. Is one yourself brought up a couple of weeks ago, and I think we listed off Martinez, Anthony, and Fernandes. When the chips are down, they're like the last 3 players you would want in your team to fight, scrap, to get something back. Very dislikable. Obviously, if you're a United fan, there might be a different bias towards them, but that sort of mindset, and that's the culture. That isn't the Glazers don't put that mindset in them to make them a moany, arms up.
Fernandes has always had that attitude. Martinez,
Joel Glazer hasn't installed that.
No, Anthony. Anthony played football before Manchester United. Eriksen played football before Manchester United.
And a second part is, that the culture can be set by things like that, but I'd like to get your view on it. I would say at the end of last season, the Spurs fan base would maybe be 50-50 in Levy out, Levy in. Is it his problem? Was it the manager's problem? We've had what's going on, and within 3 months of a fat Australian being in charge, everyone's singing and dancing, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's we all like. See, I go to the games a lot, and I'm around a lot of Tottenham people, but people make them comments all the time about, "Oh, Levy, that's why he needs to go." And they're still making those comments now, but surely this is evidence and Chelsea's evidence that you don't need to sell, or maybe we're actually doing all right as we are with the owners we've got. And okay, you might want to leave out, but who do you want? You want a Sheikh Mansour and multi-billions and billions? That's not going to happen. There's not an endless amount of those people. So do you want the Glazers in charge? Do you want Todd Bowley just to come in and throw all his money and buy a load of rubbish? Probably not. So yeah, it's
Well, it's also, I think it's just recruitment as well at the end of the day. Like the backup. I've seen something go around. I can't remember exactly what it is, but there's 10 hard signings. He's all apart from Casemiro, he's either managed them or he's managed them in that league or something like that. So the signings they've signed haven't been major, like none of them have particularly worked that well. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Like Ericsson, for example, was at Ajax and on a free. The left back, for example,
Malacia
last year was clearly not up to the standard yet. They've had to replace. I know he's injured, but then they've got Reguilon on a free. Just Anthony, £100 million from Ajax, who we just managed before. Onana was obviously at Ajax.
And Onana, I know very early on.
They haven't got they don't have likeable players that you can get behind. And
not at all. And Onana for a start. I mean, right, great. He can play it from the back, and he might do a Cruyff turn halfway line, but you got to be a goalie to start with, and you can't concede. All right, defensively they weren't great, but your goalie, you can't concede 3 at home to Brighton if you think you're Man United and you're meant to be this amazing team, amazing players and goalkeeper and whatever.
And he hasn't particularly covered himself in glory, like natural goalkeeping this season.
And that go back to that one at Wolves, or home to Wolves, the biggest disgrace of a decision I've ever seen, and probably one of the worst bits of goalkeeping I've ever seen. So, they're just, I don't know, maybe we were wrong about our pre-season prediction of Man United, and we expected obviously a lot more after what they, and it's a long way to go, but they're going into midweek Bayern Munich away.
Yeah, that was literally my next thing. Although they had a slow start to the season last year.
They did, but they were definitely a slight improvement on what they're currently, the crop of players and group, what they're trying to do at the minute. And
like you mentioned, that they're a one VAR decision. No, that they have been unlucky in terms of some VAR decisions. Obviously, they were 10 centimetres away from, or 1 centimetre away from winning at the Emirates. They were probably 10 centimetres away from making it 1-1 against Brighton. You never know what happens.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they shouldn't have beat Wolves because of that calamity decision you mentioned. And like you just touched on there, going into Bayern up next.
Yeah.
Massive. There is one player who is absolutely licking his lips coming up against that defence.
Lamb to the slaughter, isn't it? That's
Harry Kane. This is why Harry Kane's moved. He wants to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
He'll be looking at that thinking, Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry one side of me.
Harry Maguire, please start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gobble you up all day.
Yeah, and that's what he wants. He wants played him. Look at that defence.
Yeah.
And I've just seen Wan-Bissaka's out for several weeks now, so it means Dallow's going to be the only right back they've got now. He's going to be looking at. But after this, they have got a reasonably nice run of fixtures. I think they've got Bournemouth, Burnley, maybe Luton coming up, something like that.
Yeah, and
which their run should start.
And like we always say, but they're Manchester United. They'll be absolutely fine. I'm not saying they're going to be in the bottom half and losing loads of games. Like you said, after that, when they get a little run together of teams they should beat, they probably will beat them. But yeah, it's just not what we're used to at all, is it? And it's been like this for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, whatever it's been.
Absolutely lovely to see, though.
Yeah, get behind it.
But just finally on that, Brighton had won their last 3 games versus Man United, and this was obviously the 4th. And like we touched on earlier, it wasn't a surprise.
No,
thoroughly deserved win.
No, they're good. Yeah, it's been a year since De Zerbi took over as well, and they're heading into Europa League this week. They're currently 5th in the Prem, and we spoke a lot about Manchester United, and obviously that's you're attracted to that big side that's failing, but Brighton they're not the little old plucky Brighton anymore. They're a good team, and you'd rather not play them, wouldn't you? So
well, it's time to start putting them in that conversation of not going to say top 7. I mean, they're obviously not going to be in a big 7, but they're just always going to be a good. They're going to be 8. A hard team to beat. You've got to put them in the same category, if not higher than Newcastle, of a team you've got to take seriously now.
Yeah, they're just good. They are. De Zerbi, as like we said last season, but has carried on from Potter, and if not made them better, and they find the odd player here and there, and they sort of work with like quite a small squad, but they seem to have it really well sort of locked down in Brighton.
Yeah, from beating Newcastle 3-1 and then making 6 changes and then beating United 3-1. That's a strength in depth as well.
Yeah, they look good.
Right, let's move on to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And you were there. Do you want to talk us through?
Yep. No, it's good. Normal.
Did you go with your dad and your brother?
Just dad this time. Harry was at the golf actually, so he missed a good one. But yeah, normal routine. Travel up, go to the pub, see everyone, get some food, whatever.
Everyone expecting a routine 3-0 win?
I was personally. I think most people thought we'll win today 2-0, 3-0. But yes, in the back of mind, you were thinking like I keep saying to everyone, but Sheffield United, Burnley's, Luton's, Everton, Wolves, whatever, they just can't keep losing. They can't keep dropping points. They have to find something in a game, and you saw that with Sheffield United up until the 75th, 80th minute. They were that. They were awful to watch, frustrating. They wound everyone up. They wound the crowd up, the players. They were wasting time. Every trick in the book they pulled it out, and it worked. And up until we scored our first goal, but yeah, it was for those sort of teams. Surely that's the only way they can win. Burnley, okay, they were apparently really good last season champion. They can't come up and play that football. You've seen that, and yeah, Sheffield United, Luton. Then I don't think they'll get any other points unless they do what they did, or Sheffield United tried to do at the weekend.
Yes, from the outlook, it looked like they were there to set up for straight. Was it 3-5-2? They played 5-3-2.
Yeah, I think it's basically 5 at the back, and
just backs against the wall, and then try and get a clean sheet and win it on a set piece. Yeah. I remember Rafa Benitez once said when he was manager of Newcastle, he used to make games. His tactic was basically, let's try and make it a 10-minute game. Be in the game with 10 minutes to go,
and then go for it.
And then you can. And that's effectively what that tactic is. What these smaller clubs do. They get to the 80th minute. If it's 0-0, if you're 1-0 down to Spurs 10 minutes ago, it's not. Let's go for it. Why not? You got nothing else to lose.
And I don't mind it. I've played for teams that we've tried to do that, and it's relatively quite a good tactic because you are you're not as good footballers then, but you're probably as fit and as strong, and you can run and move and defend. Defending is, as a group, or trying to break down 11 players is very difficult. And yeah, Sheffield United did that very well.
We'll touch on that bit when Richarlison scores, but it's that mental. You switch off for a second, and your goal you considered, I thought, was very soft.
Oh, it's awful.
From a throw-in, long throw-in.
When you're there, you don't really realise. But yeah, when you watch back, a long throw-in, bounced on our basic penalty spot, and the guy, Hamer, runs onto it, hits into the corner, and at the moment, you're like, it's like, oh, here we go, classic 1-0 away team, exactly what we've just been saying, and they've nicked a goal. But yeah, when you see the goal back, it's awful goal to concede.
So Brennan Johnson came on and he scored, but he was offside. What I wanted to ask you was, from watching Match of the Day, they didn't really give any indication to why there was 12 minutes. I know I'm a big fan of this injury time, and we'll touch on it. And I think because I sent my text and said I can picture exactly what it was. They went 1-0 up with 73 minutes to go. The boos, the whistling for every goal kick. This time last year would have been 6 minutes max would have been added on. Was there like an injury, or was there something? It was long period, or was it just a whole half of just nonsense?
It was the constant. It was the constant from minute one. I know they don't, like, they take each half as it is. So the first half there was 3 minutes, which is again absolutely scandalous. It was ridiculous anyway. But yeah, the second half there was so many things, and the ref played a part in it. It wasn't just Sheffield United trying to time waste and do all that thing. It was the ref being awful, and I'll talk about him later on. But so the second half, the goalie, for example, Van der Ven, sort of the classic, like, goalie comes to catch it, the defender sort of jumps in after, gives him a little nudge, nothing to it, goalie goes down, holding his head, ref doesn't play, doesn't get him up, blah blah. Then the goalie gets up to play, the ref demands the physio on. The goalie then takes his gloves off, throws them on the ground, gives it all that, has a big old hoo-ha about it all. That takes a certain amount of time. Their right back kept going up and down, nothing wrong with him. But yeah, it was just constant players going here and there. And also, stupidly, our fans, this is why also time was added, but we had a corner, and so we took a short corner, but the ball that went into the stand, that's still in the stands, was still there. Obviously, as we've taken a short corner, the fan has thrown it back onto the pitch. The ref's then blown up. Obviously, all our players have got the ump booted. Everyone's going mad. The supporters got the ump with us. Then the ref gives a corner back to us. Then it happens again later on. That I think it might have been the ball this time. Something happened. The ball gets thrown back on the pitch. The ref then gives Sheffield United the ball. So there's a big old. The crowd gets on there and like, what is going on? That might be the rule. I don't know. I don't know the rules. But in that moment, you're like, how can you give a corner before then you give it to Sheffield United? So there's all sorts. The ref then runs over to the fourth official, explaining loads of things. There was a sort of Sheffield United trying to waste time, but Sheffield United had a free kick on the edge of the box late on. Their player sort of rolls it forward, but half takes it, half pretend he's not. Son then takes the ball. The ref blows up. No, you can't carry on. We're right on the edge of the box. But then the ref then books the Sheffield United player for time wasting. So again, what's going on there? Son's going mad. Maddison then got booked. Like it was just all sorts of constant. And you might be listening, and I'm sure there's plenty of West Ham fans and whoever else listening. But we were sat there. We said it had to be at least 10. It had to be, and obviously 12 was given. But
that's why I've always maintained. I will always maintain it that you'll score a goal in the 100th minute, and you will concede a goal this season in the 100th minute, and it will feel like a dagger to the heart.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather that than what happens in the previous years when these clubs, because I do feel a bit bad for the smaller teams because this rule will kill them. This was any other season, Sheffield United win this game 1-0.
And that's why the
that's why this rule's been brought in.
Yeah,
but it has to be. I know your point is it has to be consistent.
Yeah,
you see, obviously it was not going to be 12 minutes yesterday at Goodison Park, but 4 minutes.
Yeah,
the new rule it just can't be 4 minutes.
And that's why
there's 6 subs.
That's why I don't like the rule, is because yes, we won the weekend and what you're talking about, but like I said, our first half was 3 minutes, and then there's 12 in the second half. And Arsenal game, there's 4 minutes in the game, and how does that make sense? And it happened in Chelsea, it happened at Newcastle, it happens all over. I don't get it, and it's just that word inconsistency, or you want the ref to be consistent, and they're just not at all. They're just a disgrace, to be honest.
I mean, I wanted to get your opinion on something that happened in the 95th minute. That all I'm going to say is that Højbjerg came on in the 95th minute,
changed the game
at 1-0 down. 5 minutes later, it's 2-1. Well, did you a start in the North London derby?
No chance, absolutely no chance. But no, that's the thing about the subs as well. I'll get onto that. I'm quite happy that Ange Postecoglou did what he did, because he took off Son. He might have took off Solomon and Sarr, I think. But Son, our new captain, arguably our best player, he would never get taken off. The previous seasons, Kane never gets taken off. Son never gets dragged off. But in the 80th minute, he made that decision, and I personally wouldn't have taken Son off, but it worked. Not it worked, but that's fair enough. Like, he obviously is in the know and he's understand what's going on. And it was good to see. He's obviously not afraid to change it around a bit and mix it up and take off your captain. Son didn't have a necessarily bad game, but he felt that was a good chance to bring on certain players.
Richarlison came on for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Richarlison came on, Johnson and Perisic.
Yeah. So Richarlison's goal came in the 98th minute from the corner, and that's what we talked about earlier. If you're the Sheffield United manager, you'll be kicking yourself.
Yeah.
All goals to concede, it's a free header from 6 yards out. Great header, by the way.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's one thing Sheffield United will be annoyed about, and that's why I touched on it quickly here. When Arsenal played Everton yesterday, and they scored from that short corner, Arsenal can't put in balls into the box. That's Sean Dyche's bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah,
heading that way, and that's what Sheffield United will be good at.
Yeah, I'm told Tottenham did that a lot. We took short free kicks and short corners because Son, and we said it so you're watching, but Son isn't going to win your header. He's not a towering number 9, and none of our players on the pitch at that time were. But Charles is not a massive striker, and he's not a target man, but he's definitely more.
He's good in the other.
Yeah, he puts his body on the line. He's more willing to go up for those sort of headers, and maybe that's why we scored. Is that Sheffield United had dealt with Son all game, and certain players, even the centre backs coming up, and Richarlison coming on is a bit different. And they weren't sure what's going on, and he finds himself basically under the goalpost. But it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And
then, did you think there's still more time there? Because obviously now, what is also a good new rule is obviously he scored in the 98th minute. You physically can see.
Yeah,
we've got 4 minutes left here,
and that's what we were sat there watching, obviously, and because Johnson just before, like you said, was disallowed offside, and we went mental for that because it was. Normally I see the flag go up all the time, but for whatever reason we didn't see it, so we all going mad, and then realised offside would have gutted. And then we at that point we were like, right, we'll take a goal, just get a draw. Come on, you felt it because we weren't the whole game. We weren't even that bad. We weren't absolutely brilliant, but we were more than good enough to get a goal and not lose the game. And you don't want to lose at home. We equalised, and yes, we were celebrating, we're happy, but it was the whole crowd and even the players. Like you said, you saw that it was like 4 or 4.5 minutes to go. Like, come on, we can do this. Like, everything changed, the momentum had shifted, and it was on definitely for the second goal. And
I won't lie, I was absolutely horrified. So, so what happened? Where obviously I didn't watch the game at all, but I was on the stag do, and we'd just gone back to the room for like half an hour to get changed, shower if you wanted to shower, charge your phones up, and then we're going to go to the Oktoberfest event. It was the 94th minute. I put my phone down. I was like, I'm going to jump in the shower 5 minutes, literally quickly freshen up and come back. Gone back on my phone, looked, and was like, what? What? I was more concerned. It was like the 110th minute. It was still playing.
Yeah.
Like,
what is going
on here?
No, yeah, it was good.
So it must have been absolutely bedlam.
It was. It was when, and it was that moment. It was I think the goal we had the ball and they sort of half cleared it, but then our left back Adogi nipped in, and because we all saw that moment, like we knew he could go and get it, so like everyone was going mad. Then it gets little sort of sequence of passes and it gets rolled to Kulusevski. It's just that moment, like yes, and he bangs it in. But it's just I think Ange said it. He said just pandemonium when Kulusevski whacked it in. It was just chaos.
And Kulusevski broke the record for the latest ever goal scored in the Premier League, beating Berwin's goal like 2 seasons ago against Leicester.
It's the latest winning comeback in history of the Premier League.
Yeah, beating your other comeback from.
But it, like you said, it's not that's inevitable, but it's almost going to happen with this added time. It's
more likely. Games
it's more likely. Yeah.
And Richarlison was booked. I'm putting a note here. Richarlison was booked in the 90 plus 16th minute.
Yeah, but to be honest, his booking was pathetic. You saw it on match day. It was when right to the end, he literally won the ball from a header, and the ref gave a foul and was given a yellow card. It was nothing. I know Richarlison's known for it, and I'd have said normally fair enough, but that was utter rubbish.
So I've actually put a note here. Both sides seemed very unhappy because obviously I knew you were personally unhappy with the ref, but the
Heckenbob come out.
He grilled him. Absolutely killed him.
I mean, I understand some of his points. I do agree some of the refereeing is terrible, but he's talking utter, excuse my French, but talking utter bollocks. Like he had a game plan. Sheffield United turned up and almost executed it perfectly, but that rubbish of their goalie, they went on play out from the back, and then all Tottenham are pressing. So I need another 30 seconds to figure out what I do. Well, no, you know that's going to happen. Like, yeah, I think I do agree with some of his comments, but I also think he's talking absolute rubbish.
And the win made it Spurs' best start to a campaign in 58 years.
Yeah, since 1965.
Wasn't last year's also like a very good start?
It was, and this is what we'll get into, and it sort of links well. It is not a carbon copy, but it's very similar situations to what happened last year, and we had Arsenal away maybe 2.5 weeks after what we got this time. And we went into Arsenal away last season unbeaten. Everyone was like, "Oh God, here we go! There's a big chance to do this." And then we got absolutely smashed at Emirates, and that was the end of us.
Because I don't want to poo-poo the Ange and Spurs brigade, but I was a bit like, I don't want to get too carried away, but also you're 4 minutes away from losing over Sheffield United, having been knocked out the cup. That's how we spoke, and that's football.
True.
But that's what we love about football, and how quickly things change. We spoke about it in the Newcastle game when they lost to Liverpool, and how moments change. But that's what we love. And your whole week now will be so positive leading into that derby, rather than limp, thinking, "Oh, for God's sake, we just lost to Sheffield United at home."
I agree.
But that's what we love football, because it brings you them sort of. Yeah. But then you need that medium of, let's think.
Yeah. And you're right, we could have.
But over 38 games, that's where it balances out.
But it's all. But for me, anyway, personally, I obviously can't speak for everyone. But if we'd have lost that game with Sheffield, I'd obviously been annoyed and be like, "Bloody hell, Sheffield United, that's terrible." But after watching it, you realise that we actually weren't we weren't horrible. It wasn't like watching Conte and just defend. Like we did exactly what we've been trying to do. It just didn't quite happen. We weren't. I'd say we didn't create like a massive opportunity. We're like, bloody, I wish he'd scored that. But we had like 7 shots in the first half, and the goalie made a certain amount of saves. Like we were good. We were good enough, and we were definitely the better side. But yeah, you're right. It was literally, a matter of minutes. If we could have lost 1-0. But yeah, like you said, that from that to what we're currently feeling going into North London derby is much better.
Yeah, so you're going into North London derby undefeated like you were last season, and we're both actually going, aren't we?
Yeah, you text me saying.
So yeah, I managed to get tickets last week.
Was that you and your dad, or?
Yeah, me and my dad.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
what end you in?
North Bank Lower.
Where do you want to meet? Holloway Road or Seven Sisters?
Yeah, so we scrap outside the Wenger statue.
No paps. No phones.
What? Is it you three going?
Might be an army of us.
Or is it just you two?
There's me, Dad, Harry, and then we'll meet the normal lot up there. But yeah.
So the Kindles versus the Tates.
Yeah.
Scrap on Holloway.
Well, if we're 2-0 down inside 20 minutes, I'll be nowhere near Emirates.
Interesting one. The game. I never look forward to these games, so it will be. Yeah, it's one of them ones as you can look back on it with fond memories, or you don't.
It's always a big game, isn't it? It's always exciting, and as neutral as I can be, it feels like one of the best games in the league, I'd say.
I wouldn't say it's one. It is the.
Yeah.
It is the.
I think everyone
the best game.
I think everyone takes notice of it.
Yeah.
Maybe
said it yesterday on Sky.
Yeah. I'd say maybe like 2020, probably early 2000s to 2006-07. Fair enough. Like Arsenal, or even obviously longer before that. But at Arsenal, it was no contest basically. But yeah, I'd say last 15 years or so, it's been a much better game. And yeah, I'd say the neutral. I'd say it's probably one of the most exciting fixtures.
Yeah. There's always goals. Normally a red card somewhere.
Yeah. Normally us.
Always, although this year may be different. Always a Spurs penalty.
Never. Yeah. This year.
Well, their Son's playing, so
you'll avoid the Kane penalty this year.
Yeah, until bloody Champions League final.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is, and that's what I'd say in it before we. Yeah, it's just it is an exciting game, isn't it? It's as a neutral, whoever Chelsea, West Ham is a big game. But our record there, our last win in the league anyway, was November 2010, 3-2.
Before that is
you've
won there once in my lifetime. So.
Yeah, our record at Arsenal is awful, and the last 5 in the league, we've lost 4 and you've won 1. Yeah, no, sorry, Spurs have lost 4, and we've won 1. Sorry, yeah.
But it brings it back to, like we said, we spoke about last year when your brother was on. These games tend to go with the home team.
Yeah.
They have throughout the last 10 years. The home team normally wins. Or very, very rarely loses, you say.
No, yeah.
Arsenal, what was that, 2011 you said there?
2010 was our last win.
The last time Arsenal lost there. And then before last season, it was 2013, Arsenal last time they won at White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
The only annoying thing, why is it a 2:30 kickoff on a Sunday? And have you seen the Super Sunday game after?
No.
I think it's Sheffield United versus like Forest. It's not that game because they played a couple of weeks, but it's awful.
But they've done that for the fans, haven't they? As in to stop us being drunk and disorderly, basically.
The last time please correct me if I'm wrong. The last time Arsenal played Spurs at 2:30 on a Sunday was probably the best North London derby I've been to when we won 4-2. Bamiyang penalty.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Bamiyang penalty, and then Dyer header. Remember that one? It all kicked off in the corner. Kane penalty 2-1 half time.
Yeah. But even last year, it was 1-0 at half time, and it came out and just fell to pieces. And that's all I hope this year is that. I just hope we play well and we don't. It sounds so simple, but we actually perform like we have been. We give a quote unquote a good account of ourselves, and we don't crumble like we always do. We don't get a player sent off. The goalie doesn't have an absolute howler. I was
just about to say that there'll be no Lloris mistake.
No, and we laugh and joke, but that may not have happened ever. But it just feels that way, and that's the sort of feeling, and we're nervous. That emotion that we go into that game because, like you said, we know at the Emirates it's going to be feisty from minute one. It's going to be a massive atmosphere. The crowd will be up. They'll be on the refs' back. They'll be on our players, and rightly so. It's going to be awful, and it always is. It feels, for me, when I go there, It just feels, it does. It just feels like you get swallowed up, and there's 400,000 people there, and we're just this tiny little group in the corner watching our idiots run around and chase the ball. So, yeah,
from your point of view, being there, where you sit in the away end.
Oh, you feel tiny.
It's the first half.
Yeah,
and it's the first half of normally. If you can get out the first 10 minutes,
it's Arsenal home. I say all the time.
Historically, it's always that first 10 minutes of just brutal onslaught.
Yeah, don't matter. I've said it all before.
And where the away end is, you're right in front of it. That first end. It's not dark at the other end.
And I say it all the time with Arsenal who they're playing, but the first 15 to the Emirates is just an onslaught. It don't matter who you've got, what players are playing. It's just constant barrage, and you've got to get through that and calm down. But I feel like this year not be different in terms of the result, but our performance and the players we've got it just has to be different. And I feel like there'll be a moment of brilliance from someone, and Arsenal will probably win the game. I think maybe by a goal, could be 2-1, 3-2, something like that.
Don't know.
Which would be awful for everyone involved, because seeing you there, I don't think you would enjoy that. But yeah, it's going to be. I just hope, like I keep saying, we don't get Man City off. We don't lose 3-4-1. I'm not leaving at half time. Like Romero hasn't been sent off. Richarlison doesn't get subbed on and headbutts Gabriel. Like, yeah, that's how we feel about the situation. So it don't matter how all you see on Twitter and all the rest of it and all the nonsense and Tottenham going mad. But no, this is a real genuine opinion on what's going to happen this weekend.
I'm fingers crossed that Martinelli will be fit. He came off after like 20 minutes yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of precaution, though, isn't it? Because you got Champions League as well.
Yeah, I don't think he would play, to be honest.
But
then Trossard came on. Trossard scored a great goal.
Yeah, it was good.
I loved that finish, wasn't it?
Very nice. Yeah, very good goal.
But Martinelli, for me, is just that pace is just naughty, isn't it?
That is quick. It is very quick, and I hope. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't think we'll change the way we're going to play. I think Arsenal might not revert back, but what you were doing last year, I think you may.
I think it will be the same team that started on Sunday, bar Nketiah won't start. It'll be Jesus.
Yeah.
And
he's definitely getting him ready for the weekend.
And Martinelli will won't play. I don't think, because it'll be he's injured. It'll be Trossard comes in there. Goalkeeper, I don't know who'll play.
Did Raya play the whole game?
Yeah.
Everton, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the thing he was saying yesterday. He's going to start changing goalkeeper midway through.
There's no need for that, is there? Maybe like a League Cup or...
He said he's two regrets he has from being a manager in the last 4 years. He's had two moments as an Arsenal manager in the 85th minute and the 65th minute where he didn't sub his goalkeeper. So
it's very bizarre.
Interesting.
Half time, that'd be...
I suppose it makes sense that you could have... it's like horses for courses and goalkeepers. And the tradition in this country is... You need to set up back four. That is the standard line. Is set up back four. The defence needs to have the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But then we've never asked goalkeepers to do more than they're ever doing before.
Yeah.
Normally they're there to keep goals out, and now they're there to start attacks, play off counter presses, aren't they? They're there to goad in attackers, play, and then they're there to. Sometimes you want to punch it, catch it. If you're going to counter attack, maybe you want your goalkeepers better at kicking. There's so much. Do you make football too nerdy?
Yeah. But then you talk about it exactly why people don't do it. But it's also like, well, yeah, you're right. Like if you change your striker after 70 minutes, you change your right midfielder after 75.
It's not working, and he's clearly distressed, or he keeps kicking the ball long, and he's not. Or the crowd's getting onto him.
Is it? And to be honest, there's probably been plenty of teams, but Arsenal's two goalies at this moment in time are very good. They're rare. Probably would play for everyone, maybe apart from Liverpool, City, and maybe not Arsenal. But
now, especially you have 6 subs, you can change more than half your team.
Yeah. It'd be very interesting if he does it on Sunday as well. That'd be a good game to start in, wouldn't it? Yeah.
No, I can't see that happening too soon, but I'm very excited. And I'm going to the Champions League game as well on Wednesday.
This week. Yeah. Nice.
It's been a long 7 years. I remember trudging out the Emirates. It was the last time I played the Champions League. It just got whacked. So, I don't know if I told this story before, but we had actually won the group. We went through this whole stage of like 6 years never winning the group. We actually won the group finally in the group stages. And then who did we draw? Bayern, because they didn't win their group. For the 1 year they didn't win it. Because we haven't been out the round of 16 for God knows how many years.
You always get through the group, don't you? Always.
Normally,
without doubt. And I can't see much else happening this time.
Got Bayern drew. So I thought, oh, here we go. And but because we won the group, we had the second leg at home, which was every time we had another, we always got battered in the first leg, and the tie was over. So I thought, oh, here we go. Like, we conceded off that 5 minutes. Then Sanchez missed the penalty but scored the rebound. 1-1 half-time at the Allianz. Away goals still. We're in this. Second half, capitulation.
Yeah.
2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1 back at the Emirates. Right, great. Right, well, what do you do if you ticket? You spent like 80 quid on now. You've got to sit and watch the game with 5-1 down.
Friendly, basically.
But within 5 minutes of the first, I think it was 5-10 minutes in, Walcott, bang, 5-2. Oh, could it be? 1-0 at half-time. And then I think on the 60th minute, Koscielny gives away a penalty, red card. And then it just goes 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2. Just awful.
Yeah.
And we knew, I think we were like 7th in the league then. We were like, we're not getting back. And that was the year that you finished second, I think, it was you and Chelsea, I think.
Yeah.
But it's been a long 7 years. Glad about that. When their music comes on, I don't have to listen to it on my ringtone anymore. I can actually listen to it in person. So that'll be good. And it's PSV again, which is funny because they've got not my second team, but I've got lots of friends that support them.
You've got a very nice group, haven't you?
Yeah.
Lens and PSV, very nice.
And Seville, yeah. The Europa League gods.
Yeah. It's as groups go in Champions League, that's very good.
Yeah, you'd take it on paper, you'd take it. I just didn't want Bayern or Barca. I'm so bored. We haven't played them in 7 years, but I'm so bored of playing them two teams. And I just can't be asked to see Harry Kane scoring at Seagulls. Thought I'd put that memory to bed for once, but that'll be interesting. Should we put our predictions?
Yeah, let's start. Might as well go Champions League first, as we're talking about it.
I don't want to say Man City, but then I can't see anyone else.
Yeah, I've not gone Man City, but very similar. I'll say, yeah.
I've gone Man City / Bayern.
Yeah,
/ Real Madrid / I don't know, but
my prediction is Bayern, but I'm stuck to my prediction from last season. Basically, Tuchel's a very good manager, one of the best in the world. Harry Kane, their new striker, and should score plenty, absolutely bucket loads of goals. But like you said, should be City or Madrid, because last year everyone forgot about Real Madrid. But yeah, it should be one of those two teams, and they'll probably most likely get to the semi-finals, and you probably got to beat one off, if not two, to win it. But yeah, I'll stick with Bayern. Harry Kane to lift the Champions League.
I'm going to go with Man City just because I think they've changed a bit this year, man. I think they've gone full. I remember the documentary was the term they used was shark mode. It was just like head down hunting. I think they want to go for all four.
Yeah.
I think they want to go unbeaten.
Yeah.
That's their target. They've done everything else. What else can you do?
Yeah.
They're 5 from 5.
Yeah, they definitely, at least, sounds pathetic, but at least want to do the double again with the Champions League and Premier League as well. So.
Reluctantly, I'm going to go Man City, but I just don't think there's anyone else out there.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but yeah, I'm just going to. Well, I do disagree. I'm going Bayern Munich, but yeah, Man City. Any of those, Bayern Munich, Man City, Real Madrid, basically. But yeah, first week of Champions League, just for the English sides, Newcastle travel to Milan, City have Red Star at home, Arsenal at home to PSV, and Manchester United travel to Munich.
Be tough. Europa League prediction.
Yeah, I'm pretty basic. My Europe predictions are all very English bias, but I think that's fair enough. I've gone Liverpool.
So I've also gone Liverpool, but I'm going to go maybe a bit abstract here. I've gone Newcastle.
Oh, if they drop out.
I've got Liverpool / Newcastle.
Yeah, I didn't. That's why I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just went for whoever's in the competition. I didn't think about the dropouts and all the rest of it.
Just remember on the preview episode, I was like, Newcastle can get dumped in their group. I just think they're who have they got? PSG, Dortmund,
Milan,
Newcastle,
and themselves. Yeah,
it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, very tough. I've got Liverpool. I think.
Yes, Liverpool.
It sounds if they commit to it, it sounds stupid, but I think they'll win it. I think they'll find themselves in the latter stages without even almost realising. Then suddenly, we're in the quarterfinals. We might as well go for it and win the whole thing. And I think that'll be the case. I think Brighton are a very good side, but I think the old school European teams, even Brighton's group's quite difficult. They've got Athens, Marseille, and someone else. I think might be Ajax. Have they got Ajax? Have I just made that up?
I think it's Ajax.
I think they're like we said, they're a very good team, but I don't think. I think the classic European sides will beat him in the knockout stages.
No, I tend to agree with you with Liverpool. Probably will go Liverpool as well. Unlike maybe dark horse Roma, Jose Mourinho.
Yeah,
Liverpool should be able to get to the quarterfinals without putting any effort in.
Yeah, because their squad is far superior than most of the teams in that. I can't see West Ham doing anything like they did last year in the Conference League.
No.
In the Europa League this year. I think Bayer Leverkusen started really well in Germany, but I don't know much about them.
Granit Xhaka.
Yeah. Didn't mark Harry Kane on the corner, did he? Conference League.
While we're on Conference League, how awful was that? We know what we are, European Championship.
Oh, what the
They're
West
basically
Ham
cucking for each other.
Yeah, it was all. I quoted it on Twitter, but it was just awful. They were like clapping each other.
Conference League. I know we've both mentioned Aston Villa in our shouts for the season. Probably Aston Villa. I've gone. The other one I've mentioned is Fenerbahce. There's anyone else I can see. Unless anyone drops down, but it's going to be Aston Villa.
From the teams that are in the initial competition, I've said Aston Villa, European Master, Emery. I think the sides in the competition are just dribble. Absolute awful sides.
I think they're worse this year than they were last year. I've looked at it again. I was like, who the hell?
Yeah, Fiorentina back in it. There's, like you said, a couple of Turkish sides, but Aston Villa should be very confident going into the tournament. I think with the manager they've got, some of the players have all spent big money. I think they'll be well up for it.
I think they'll win that canter.
And I think because they'll be fine in the league. They might finish
8th.
Yeah, they might finish top half. They might finish 14th. But I think they'll be going all out for that tournament.
Right, and then we're going to talk about our post. So
yes,
we put a post out in the week. A hidden gem transfer of the season, not like your classic, your big money moves. We wanted to go for a smaller sort of under 10 mil, whatever it was, player. And I chose my mate, Caltech 10, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
He didn't play at the weekend. Oh no, he plays tonight maybe.
He plays tonight. So randomly, tonight's game it's Forest Burnley, 7:45 on a Monday. It's always 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always 8 o'clock.
Yeah, M&F Monday night, yeah.
I don't know why it's
But it's also just screams championship.
Yeah. But Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs White, who's the big lump? Awonyi.
Yeah.
And it was Brennan Johnson. That would have been a nice little front four.
That is a quick front four. And
he's now got to come on. He's only 22 still.
Is he?
Yeah.
Bloody.
Still only 22.
I thought he was so much older.
No, he's still 22. I'm not saying to tear up trees. It's ironic being playing for Forest. But he'll be decent again. He'll get his reputation back. If he can stay fit and play games, he'll get some goals.
I like it.
And I've always had a soft spot for him because I just think he was so decent and Chelsea just didn't deserve to have him. And they just tossed him to the side and they signed like players like Ziyech, which is crap. When they could have just either sold him to Bayern at 40 million when they had the chance to and made some money on him, or invest in him. But he's not like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's like 27 and he's now 20. He's still young. Chance in Premier League. I think it was like £3 million they paid for him. So.
No, I like it. I've gone Destiny Udogie from Spurs, and we signed him last season and loaned him back to Udinese. I think we bought him for like 20 mil, but he's so good. He's such a good player, and he'll be at Spurs for maybe 2-3 seasons, and I think he goes to Real Madrid or Man City without a doubt. Because without a doubt, he's ridiculous. I know he might be awful at the weekend. You think, he's not that good, but
left back. Yeah,
and that's the thing. He's a left back, and what is it? There's not many world class left backs out there, is it? Really? I know Man City are a world class team, and they use Ake, but within a season, Udogie's far better than Ake, and he's definitely one of those players that won't be at Spurs forever. I think 3 or 4 seasons.
He's Italian, isn't he?
Italian, yeah. He'll be at Madrid or Man City without a doubt.
Big shout. So it's interesting to see how that one unfolds. How much you pay for him?
20 mil.
Not too bad.
20 mil.
Right, move on to Team of the Week.
Let's do it.
Right, goalkeeper we struggled with. We won't lie. Wasn't many standout performances. Edison made a great save. Aurelio made some good saves. Obviously, we had Raya, Premier League debut for Arsenal, clean sheet, but had nothing to do.
Edison was good, I thought. Like he made a couple, like you said, one when he ran out, and I think he made another save later on.
From one of the corners, it was from.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, sometimes, a goal. And it's hard because on the highlights, and you don't really see a lot. And if like Raya, for example, didn't have nothing to do but probably wouldn't have shown a lot in some of the other games, but yeah, we've gone with
Sanchez from Spurs. I was about to say, not anymore. Sanchez from Chelsea made a few good saves in the, especially at the end to Solanke when he was going left and he's saved it with his feet.
Yeah.
The other way, clean sheet. I mean, a point at Bournemouth, is that a good result for Chelsea?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the performance and what's happening at Chelsea's, they're very happy with it, but in terms of a goalkeeper, he was not too bad. Moving
on to defence, do you want to start with?
Yeah, we got the first one gone with Tariq Lamptey, 2 assists at Old Trafford for Brighton in a 3-1 win. He's just a good player. He's just very good.
Playing left back as well.
Yeah, out of position technically, and yeah, he's just I really like him. I really do.
So quick, isn't he?
Yeah, if he can, old cliche, but if he can stay fit and that, I'd love him at Tottenham. Absolutely love it.
Maybe he replaces
when Adogi goes to Madrid. We'll have little old Lamptey,
the smallest player in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, he's class. I love him.
Then we've chosen Anthony Robertson. Andy Robertson.
Yeah,
Anthony. Where have I got that from?
Too busy talking about United.
Andy Robertson. It's because it was Andrew. They said Andrew in the commentary, and I was getting confused. Andrew Robertson had a stinker in midweek.
Against England.
Yeah, that clearance.
Yeah, it was funny.
But it was Liverpool captain today, and 200th appearance for Liverpool in the Premier League, and scored the 85th minute winner. Mm-hmm. Lovely goal, to be fair. He picked it. It was an awful clearance from Jose Sarr.
Sarr did so well, and then he panicked.
What are you doing? You're the 85th minute. Relax. Relax.
And he tried to boot the ball through like 3 players.
And he put his hand up straight away, and then within like literally 10 seconds in the back of his net.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But great goal. Winner, captain, 85th minute. Defender scoring goal. Brilliant.
And then first midfielder have gone for, is it Jeremy's first name?
I think so, yeah.
Going to go Jeremy Doku from Man City. Just, again, you see the brief highlights, but what a lot of people have said in reports, he absolutely killed Kufau all game, and I think he made a slight mistake to allow West Ham to go 1-0 up, but then from that moment he got a goal. Did he get an assist or did he just get a goal?
Just got a goal, I think.
But yeah, he was brilliant. He just looks another brilliant player for Man City.
He looks like one of them old school wingers who doesn't really Pep winger, if you know what I mean. Pep's
quick,
very
direct,
disciplined, and they do exactly what, stay wide, but he's just like old, like a Nani, just run and do a bit of skill,
just constantly sprinting.
Like his goal, he had Kufa was petrified.
Yeah, he was very scared, and rightly so. And I'm sure Doku will do that to plenty of players this season.
And the other midfielder we've gone through is Neto at Wolves. The first half, my God, he had Gomez on toast.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? Very good.
The assist for the goal is out of this world. And then he nutmegged him again, crossed it in, and I'll get onto this point in a sec. Wolves should have been absolutely out of sight, and he was absolutely superb in that game. And I'm hoping he has another good season. I don't think Wolves will have a particularly good season because they can't score goals, but I think Arsenal looked at him at beginning of last season on deadline day, but he had a bad injury and then was ruled out for most of the season. But if he can stay fit, he's a fantastic player. Obviously, honourable mentions to Pascal Gross. Yeah, that could have been in there, and other players that were close. Højbjerg, obviously.
And then forwards, we've left it to you guys for the fan vote. We had it between Richie and John Duran from Villa, who they had very, very similar performances. Both come off the bench, got a goal, a very good impact. But as I look now, 62% for Richarlison and 38% for Duran. So Richarlison gets the nod.
Yeah, I think deservedly so.
Yeah, he was good, and
goal and assist.
Yeah, he was good. He just goal and assist and played well. Not after the week. I'll talk about him in a moment, but yeah, the week he's had is good performance.
Prediction time. Let's get my phone out.
Yep.
Flash Scores, the podcast sponsor. Let's have a look. Games are on Saturday. Where should we go? So obviously last week was Serie A. Inter smashed AC 5-1.
Do we both say Inter?
No, I think I said AC. They got every single one wrong so far.
Okay. Yeah, they smashed them 5-1. Mate, Loftus-Cheek did well, didn't he? For Milan. He played for AC and got smashed.
So let's have a look. Mkhitaryan scored another 2 goals.
Did he?
Mate, calm down. Mate, oh my God, the games on Saturday in the Premier League are horrific. I won't even look at them. Eredivisie. Let's go. Spain. This is going to be very, very random. Osasuna versus Seville.
You go first, go on.
Osasuna versus Seville. I'm going to go a 1-0 Seville win.
I'm going to go Seville going to have a severe European hangover. Osasuna going to do them 2-0.
That's surprising, actually. They're playing on a Saturday after playing on... They'll be playing on a Wednesday. They're also playing on Wednesday. But, so you're going 2-0 home win. Right. Move on to winner and loser. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, my winner, I've gone with Richarlison. Spotlight has been on him basically this whole season. Come out in a week talking about his mental state and lack of goals. And been a bit of a rough time. And Ange come out, and rightly so, supporting him in terms of his performances. And he's a positive reason as to why we're doing so well. And yeah, he came off the bench at the weekend, basically won Spurs the game, gets a goal, gets the assist. And had a very, very good impact in the game. And yeah, I thought he was good when, like we said, team of the week, and very good when he came on. So yeah, I think Richarlison for me winner of the week.
Perfect. I've gone for winner of the week, Aaron Ramsey. He moved back to his boyhood club in the summer, Cardiff, after having a bit of a nothing spell in his career since he left Arsenal. He only won the Serie A at Juve, but was a bit part player, always injured. Ended up playing there for about a year and a half, then on loan to Rangers, didn't really work out there. Missed the crucial penalty in the Europa League final. Then went on loan to the French club
Nice
I think it was, yeah, Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't tear up trees, scored in his debut, that was about it. So moved back home to Cardiff. First game, well, it's the first time they've played first time he's played Cardiff in many
Swansea.
years. Swansea, many years. In the rain. If you've seen the first goal that they scored,
and the game was pissing down.
Man of the match, and then he gets the penalty. What a penalty as well! Just like sits the goalkeeper in his arse, knee slide in the rain, 2-0, captain, man of the match, boyhood club against the biggest rivals. It can't get much better than that, can it?
Yeah, it was good.
Gone for Aaron Ramsey, winner of the week.
Should we go loser of the week?
Loser of the week. I've gone for Wolves / Matthias Cunha. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've watched a lot of games in my life, and this was just you just knew what was going to happen. I only watched the first half. I watched the first half of it at the pub in Berlin. Wolves battered them. Wolves looked like bloody Real Madrid, and you had what's his name, Neto, looking like Vinicius just on the side, putting crosses in and putting chances after chance on a plate. It was 1-0 up already. He's nutmeg Gomez, whipped it in. What is Cunha doing? He's gonna head. He's gone for the knee, header, chest. What's he doing? 2-0. He's missed another chance after that as well. And we needed some lunch, so then I thought we're going to go and watch some food. We knew Liverpool were going to get back into it, and they did, and they won it 3-1, and then they could have killed it in the first half, and that's going to be Wolves' downfall this year. Yeah, they can't score goals, and that was a perfect example.
Yeah, it was poor and it was terrible. Well, not even fish, was it? But my loser of the week, and you mentioned them the other week, but I can't avoid them. The refs / PGML, whatever it is, OL. It's another weekend, another disgraceful display of officiating. You had Peter Banks, the ref at Spurs, Craig Pawson, the ref at Newcastle, David Coots, the one at the Chelsea game. They're just awful. The standard of officiating just doesn't compare to the level of football that's happening, and year on year it gets worse and worse. I don't need to talk about all the decisions, but not just our game. Like I said, the Newcastle game, Craig Pawson was making some horrible decisions, and I think everything is. They're under so much pressure and they get crucified, but they're definitely not helping themselves. But then with the VAR, they got all that in their ear, all that's going on in their head, and they're basically essentially not reffing the games anymore. They're just falling back on that, and it's just very, very frustrating. So the refs basically officiating.
I think we could repeat that.
Yeah, it could be every week, but
every single week.
Yeah.
Right. Back to the teaser to end the show. What is currently the most common surname in the Premier League?
That's so random. I can't think of anyone that's
I
got...
wouldn't have a clue,
No.
to be fair.
I can't think of anyone that's got the same name as someone else. Because at Spurs you got like Son, you got Son, Madison, Richarlison. I know that's not right.
You're clutching there.
Yeah. It's not. It can't be like Smith. It just can't.
This
be.
is exactly what I thought. It's got to be. It's just got to be Smith, hasn't it?
No.
There's 2 Smiths and there's a Smith Rowe, so there's 2. There's not Smith.
Right. Yeah. It just can't be Smith. It's not an English. It can't be an English name, surely. Is it even obvious when you say it? Obviously, you know, but when you got told, you were like, "Oh, right."
Yes and no. Then it doesn't help you at all.
This is nothing.
But yeah, it's such a hard question.
Random. Oh. Johnson.
Good shout, but no.
No.
That's a good one.
Oh. Is it English? Is it like an English name?
No.
No. Okay, for some reason I'm going to go Martinez.
Another good one. No.
All right, actually, yeah, that's not bad.
Martinez is a very good one.
Yeah, okay, I don't know, I'm going to... Johnson, have you got on the list? Have you got?
No, I haven't got the top 3 or whatever.
Okay.
The number 1 is Traore. Which you think, yeah. But then,
no, but who?
These are the players I was like...
Adama.
So, Hamed Traore from Bournemouth.
Would never even think of him.
Benny Traore from Sheffield United.
No.
Then our mate Adama.
Yeah.
Then you've got Bertrand Traore from Villa.
Right, yeah.
And Boubacar Traore from Wolves. They're the 5.
Oh, 3 of those aren't... Not they are players, but yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never think of them.
But Traore was obviously a big name.
Yeah.
But not big name, you know what I mean? There's
there's
enough of them around to think, it's
Johnson,
viable.
I thought I had it, to be fair. I can only think of Brennan and the Johnson that plays for West Ham.
Ben.
Yeah, Ben Johnson. Maybe that's probably it. But and Martinez, you got the goalie, centre back at United.
Yeah.
Martinelli.
Yeah, I should find out.
It probably is that though.
Yeah, no, Traore is the 5.
Traore is 5. That's probably a lot, isn't it?
Mm.
Interesting. If it was 1940 and it's probably Smith,
Smith and Allen.
Yeah, that probably would be the names. Very good.
Right, enter another show.
Yes,
we'll be back next week again. Normal Monday time, released for your Tuesday commute to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, but probably our last break for a little while. I don't think we've got any. I haven't got any other plans on Mondays for a while. So yeah, we've got, again, keep sharing, liking all the content on the Instagram and leaving reviews on Apple Podcasts and the 5 stars on.
Yeah, keep getting involved.
Spotify, it all helps and pushes up the charts like we had the other day on the on the Apple Podcast. It's good to see we're always consistently in like the top 50.
Yeah,
in there.
And that's good. It's good for us, and it's exciting that we're hanging around there. And like Tate was saying, if you listen, just leave a review on whatever Apple, Spotify, whatever you listen to. Make sure you subscribe and follow as well. It seems trivial, but if you listen to them all, you might as well follow us and give us a little review and stuff. But keep sharing it and keep listening. Yeah,
and we'll be back next week. We'll either be sitting very far apart from each other.
Yeah,
after our scrap.
It might be a few cuts and bruises, but we'll see, won't we?
No, it'll be a good podcast next week, hopefully, to digest the game and review it and whatnot. But we'll see you again next week, and stay loyal.
Stay loyal.